Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 index, or the NDX, which is made up of 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial innovative companies listed right here in the Nasdaq stock market. The NDX has been the barometer for U.S. large cap growth and also one of the best performing indexes over the last decade and a half, not to mention one of the most liquid index ecosystems in the world. Joining me this Monday afternoon, we have Chris Dearborn, Managing Director with Nasdaq's Market Intelligence Desk, for an update on technical levels to watch in the Nasdaq-100. Chris, it's great to see you as always, and we're close to those all-time highs.
We absolutely are. The index has been higher 6 of the 7 last days. Great rally last week. We're down a little bit today, but volumes are really light across the board. So it's nothing really too concerning right now. And you're absolutely right. We're a stone throw away. Some people might even say a pitching wedge away from the all-time highs that were made back in February. You had a nice breakout earlier about a week and a half ago, coming through resistance at the 50-day moving average. It's an interesting chart.
Yeah, it definitely is an interesting chart. And, makes you wonder, is this the calm before the earnings storm, which, of course, the money centers and the banks are going to start rolling out at the end of this week. Right. Our second chart here, speaking of the financials, any sectors that you're seeing that are lending to the performance in the Nasdaq-100?
Yeah, it's definitely a mixed bag. Tech is a little bit lower today across the board. There are some standouts, obviously, on a lot of news. And what you're also seeing is the communications sector getting hit a little bit today too, which of course carries a lot of weight within the Nasdaq-100, especially with Alphabet and Facebook both being down. But you have stock-specific news from NVIDIA. That's the best performer, up almost 5.5% so far, carrying 22 Nasdaq-100 points. But it's eating the lunch of Intel a little bit today, which is on the flip side of that, and they're down about 4.5%, taking off 13 points. So it's kind of a flip-flop there. Tesla had an analyst upgrade today. Microsoft obviously has the M&A news as being very well received, and that stock's seeing a nice uptick there. And then, what you're looking at here is tech isn't really off as much as you would think on a kind of sluggish day. That growth value story that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks is still in play. But you're right. It is definitely the calm before the storm. It's a pause here. Last week was a pause. We saw higher highs on declining volumes. That's kind of a good thing. That's how things used to work before the pandemic began. You used to see baby steps up, that Goldilocks mentality. There's a lot of macro news coming out on top of the earnings as we look forward. So there could be a lot of stock-specific items coming up off of earnings, and two, that macro overarching sector that could really impact the entire market as a whole. Got to keep your eye on that.
Yes, we do, Chris. Thanks for all the info as always, and thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.